Hello guys, and this is the 8th video of the 3ds Max tutorial series, and in this video I want to go over modifiers for basic objects and go over a little bit of the stack, as you could call it. What the stack is basically a layer system with all your modifiers and such. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a quick cylinder. So I advise you do as well, just so you can pretty much experiment what you're doing while I do. Okay, so as you can see, I've just got like a basic cylinder. My camera's a bit off at the moment, ignore that. And okay, there we go. Now we're gonna add some modifiers. Basically what modifiers are is like settings parameters that you can change to manipulate your shape in a sense where it's not just basic geometry. So rather than just having a blank cylinder, I'm gonna go ahead and twist it, bend it. It's something like, it's just to make it not so ordinary like the average box, cylinder, sphere, like the majority of you will be doing at this point. Okay, so let's go over to the modifier tab, and I'm gonna make sure I've got my cylinder selected, and over here you can see we've got a modifier list. Over here you've got a few basic parameters for your like cylinder. You got height, radius. So let's say I change this to 30, it's going to become thicker, or 50, you're going to see a massive change. Also we've got things like height, so 90, 5, it's going to be like pretty flat, and then I'm just going to put it back to around 50 for now, and maybe make the thickness, a little bit less. So let's set this to something like 15. Okay, so with that we're going to add some modifiers. So if we go ahead and click here, you can see there's a whole load of modifiers. You got things like stretch, slice, smooth, bend. You don't really need to know every single modifier in here. I don't even know the majority of them. Well, not the majority, but I don't know a few of them. It's just a case of some of them you won't need, and some of them are like going to be in the later advanced series. But just for now, we're going to go over things like editable polygons, bend, and twist. So if you want to find a modifier really easily, like say I want to find bend, I can just go ahead and press B, and it will go to the first modifier beginning with B. Also, there is like sub modifiers. You got object space modifiers, world space modifiers, but just for now we're going to be working with object space modifiers. So go ahead and click bend, and as soon as you do that you'll realize there is now a okay, let me just move that. Oh, sorry about that. Just move that in a bit. Okay, and now you'll see we've got a orange box around our object. What that means is that we have a modifier selected. So in the stack over here, if I go ahead and click cylinder, you'll see it's disappeared. So let's just go click cylinder. This is basically a layer system. So when you have different layers, you can choose which modifier is applied first. Like let's say I add in a twist one, you can put it below or above it to change the order around of how the modifier is applied. So also over here we've got a button that says show end result. So when you click on a modifier and you don't have this selected, it will I forgot. Okay, if you have it not selected, it won't show the end result. It'll just show the the only modifier that you got selected. I'll show you how to use that properly later on in the video. So now we've got our bend modifier selected. You'll see here we've got a few different parameters to the ones we had before. As you can see here, we got like bend angle, direction, bend axis. You won't really need to worry about limits for now. All that is just basically saying how much it can bend itself. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and change the angle of this. You can just do that by moving, basically just changing the number on here. At the moment I'm just using the little scroller, and you can see it's going from side to side like a slinky. So I'm just going to go ahead and change this to like 50, close as I can to -60. And if I change the direction, you can change like which direction it goes. Like as you can see here, it's now spinning around. Rather than just going at an angle, I can point it in any way I like I don't know, if you want to turn a pipe or something, this is how it'd be done. And you can see with the modifiers, the wireframe view over here has changed quite a fair bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna go and change this back to, no, I'm just gonna put this down to 90, and I'm gonna leave that at 60. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and add a twist modifier. Here we go, twist, there we go. And what you can do with this one is you can make it twist at an angle. So let's say I go turn that, you can see it's being rotated, and I don't know, it's pretty much spun around as if it was being modelled on those clay machines. But just for now, I'm going to go ahead and put it back to I'm just going to put it to like 50. So now you can see it slightly spun around and it doesn't look too good. It's, you can say it's somewhat disorientated, well, distorted, sorry. And if you see when I click, wait, oh god, okay, I don't have the show end result button selected at the moment, so when I switch between the two modifiers, you'll see that it's two different things. So when I click it on the two of them, it'll look exactly the same. So you want to make sure you have that option always toggled, so when you're modifying something you can see exactly what happens rather than having to wait until you switch between the two. So if I turn these, if I like remove these and put this one first, you'll see the shape has changed and it will apply the twist modifier first rather than the bend modifier. Okay, so with the twist one, I'm just going to go ahead and show you how you can change the twist axis. You can twist it on X, Y and Z. At the moment I just recommend you do it on the Z axis, which is up and down for twist. So it's just going to turn for say. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete the, oh sorry about that, I'm just going to delete the bend modifier, and as you can see now I've just got the normal twist. So if I go ahead and start twisting that, you'll see the effect, and there you go, you can see it on the shape itself. I mean, with this, when you'll be able to twist, bend and stuff like that, you can change your shape so they don't look so ordinary, plain. So it means you can like bend stuff, like let's say if I go and bend a box, I don't know, it might not turn out too great, but just going to use it as an example. Okay, so if I go over to my modifiers, and I'm going to go ahead and go to bend, there we go, and then if I change the angle up, you can see it's going on its side, and when you just keep spinning it, it's just looking worse and worse. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this down to something like 90, and it should make a triangle, as you can see here. Basically, when you're working with modifiers, you want to make sure you know basic logic of how shapes are going to be manipulated as you change the angle and the direction. If I start changing the direction on here, it's going to not look so good. All it's going to do is just spin this face around that you can see at the moment towards the way that you've got your direction set to. So this is about all I wanted to show in this video, so comment, like and subscribe, and in the next video I'm going to be going over editable polygons so you can play around with your shapes a bit more, use extrusion, you know, just basically move things like vertices, faces and things like that. So see you in the next video, and goodbye.